Hello guys, a very warm welcome to Ang's Diary. To all the alien souls out there, well, hello there. So this video majorly talks about angel numbers, what angel number does to your subconscious, how it helps your spirit to awaken, to arise, what kind of meditation you should do, especially if you're a newbie like me, what kind of sound therapy you can actually go to. So this video is pretty much about these little things, so I hope it kind of helps to you, and if you're in really a very dark period of time, like if you're facing really dark times, and I hope this brings you a silver lining of hope or something like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to be helpful, so here we go. See, this entire process is to awaken yourself, awaken your spirit from a really long sleep. And the ironic part is you're born with your eyes closed. Definitely, you're born with eyes closed, like if we take this word seriously, but spiritually also, your spirit is sleeping while you're born. And when you are exposed to life, you're actually being exposed to the mysterious process of spiritual awakening. And the signs that your spirit is craving to awaken itself is like all of a sudden things stop making sense to you. All of a sudden you have started asking really serious questions like, who are you? All of a sudden you develop an identity crisis, something like this. Like, who are you? What are you doing here? Just making money, eating, sleeping, dating, having fun life is what you're doing here. Because when your spirit asks these kind of questions, like in my process, I usually ask like, human being is the really on the top of the animal kingdom, and all we are supposed to do is eat, work, sleep and repeat. That thing stopped making sense to me. I was rushing to earn a status, earn more money. I was rushing to be in this chase to, just run and chase your dreams, chase your goals and chase a status, something like this. But when the awakening happens, you feel like you're dying in a very blunt way to say. You feel like you're dying, but actually your ego self is dying, your shadow self is dying, and your spirit is awakening. Your spirit is actually being awakened. So these kind of signs happen to you subconsciously, more scientifically, like if we express this in a psychology term or something like that. But what happens mysteriously is what I call the angel numbers. Like, I don't have a really sensible explanation of how these numbers work, or how these numbers talk to you, but sooner or later you start developing some kind of coding method of talking with the universe. You're in an open conversation with the universe, and that's really amazing and magical. I have witnessed in my entire life, to be really very honest. I can't be more honest like this. right before when I was into tarot, right before when I was into these kind of spiritual rituals, a friend of mine introduced this term, angel numbers, 1111, and I just wondered what it is, and then just the talk vanished in the air. But right after that, I went through a really painful period of my life, losing someone who was really close and dear to my heart. Tarot says, most of the readings says it was my twin flame. Twin flame I will explain later. But also the 1111 thing is in the tarot universe, in the tarot world, it's more like a twin flamish number. Like it's, you're about to see literally your other self. You're about to meet your other self, like your own self. In could be a different gender or not. It's not gender specific. But when you meet, the numbers appear, especially 1111. But for me, more finding your soulmate or twin flame is, yes, part of the chase, but the main goal is to awaken your spirit, to get your spirit out of the matrix. So for me, these numbers remind you, recall your memory constantly, like it's knock 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 on the door constantly, that your spirit needs to awaken now. It's more like an alarm clock. It's a universal alarm clock. Angel numbers is a universal alarm clock to me, to be very honest. So for me, 1111, 111, 222, these kind of numbers are not just limited to twin flame, like you're about to meet the other half, the other romantic interest, but it's more like it's time to wake up. So while talking about the angel numbers, the numbers that you're likely to see on the daily basis, like 1111, 111, 222, like the amplified numbers. More amplification, more you're aligned or in tune with the universe. The repetitive numbers, some see 911 on a constant level, like constantly they see these numbers. For me, number 22 is more like a ghost, literally. It's been chasing me more than an year, and I still can't explain why. I have read about it, like it's a master builder number. When you see this number, you're about to construct a reality, you're about to manifest your reality, like you are the builder of your own house at that very minute. So yes, I completely resonate with it. I'm working on few things that might shift my reality from what's now to something else. And I completely agree, we are the creator of our own life, but to realize it subconsciously, these kind of weird thing happens. For me, I'm a very dreamy person, to be very honest. So universe speaks differently to each person. Those people who are very logical and rational inside their head, they experience spiritual awakening in really different manner. Their spiritual awakening is not as dreamy as mine. They hit the rock bottom, they arise like phoenix, and in the process their spirit awakes. Not each one of you, not each one in this world actually happens to see angel number. It's not like you're not seeing angel numbers, your spirit is sleeping, your spirit is not awakening. No, it's not like that. But universe chooses different kind of language to talk to the people. I'm a very dreamy person, I'm a daydreamer, I'm an artist, I'm an illustrator. So for me kind of people, universe actually has chosen this kind of language, angel numbers. So I've been constantly seeing 111, 222, and 222 is my personal favorite number because whenever I feel good, whenever I feel like my own spiritual team is giving me a pat on the back, then I definitely never miss to see this number. And awkwardly, when you want to see these numbers never appear. That's where my logic, it really goes, because even if I put the logic into it, like I want to see these numbers and I want to get a meaning out of it, that's fine. But when I lose the control of seeing these numbers, that's where my mind goes really crazy, nuts completely. Like how universe knows to pop which number in front of you to convey a message. Like whenever I'm out of alignment, whenever I'm anxious, I'm in a very depressive state, whenever I'm sad, I see 666. It's more popular like a devil's number in spirituality, in like tarot world also. It's not like devil's number, it's like your shadow self is going heavy on you. That's where I see, it's very rare that I see 666, but I never miss to see whenever I'm being really anxious about the future, like what's going to happen. That's where the universe says, stop. What the hell are you talking about? No, it's not Billie Eilish song. So these numbers speaks differently to you, and the most weird thing is nobody can decode it in a very standard format. Like 111 means this, although there is a standard format. Like 111 means you're about to awaken, 222 means have faith, 333 and 444 means like you're surrounded with the most high vibrational light workers like Jesus Christ, Lord Shiva, Krishna, these kind of people. 555 means you're about to experience a massive change in your life. 666 means hold on, stop, you are out of alignment. 77 is also a pat on the back, and 888 means you're about to get rich in some ways, like material abundance is about to hit you. 999 and 101010 means the completion of the cycle. That's the standard format, but still I don't know how they literally vibrate to you. Like whenever I'm happy, I see 222, and awkwardly whenever I'm going to receive my salary every month, in the first week of my month, I see lots and lots of 88. I was like, fine, I get it, I am receiving my salary, don't remind me, I already know it. But these are the things that I really not able to explain. Even if I want to put the scientific logic into it, I still don't know how this works. So what my logical explanation to this angel number concept is, like, your brain is very creative. There is a brain of your brain which is called subconscious, and subconscious has a very different language that speaks to you. It shows you dreams, it shows you traits, it restores your shadow self, and it uses it like a bomb on your face. So subconscious has its own language, and it really invents different kind of methods to make you recover out of some kind of tragedy you're experiencing or you're stuck in. You might have heard like many people experiencing some kind of jerk. They're falling in the dreams and they literally wake up with a jerk, like huffing and puffing all the way, like you just fallen from the bed but you're still on the bed. So that time your subconscious literally, when you're in the deepest mode of sleeping, like you're in a very deep sleep, the brain of your brain really get triggered, like as if you're dying, and your entire system is trained to save you anyhow. The reflex mechanism is the biggest proof of that. So your subconscious literally gives a strong electric signal to your body, and your body experiences as if it's falling. So it uses that reflex mechanism. So you wake up with a jerk. You're not going more deep into the sleep. You just wake up. So by seeing that kind of trait, I feel like angel numbers is also an invention of your subconscious. It's more like a self-hypnosis therapy. Your brain is tend to see these numbers at places, and it tends to take out meaning from it. It's more like self-therapy or self-hypnosis, like you're hypnotizing yourself to become a really strong person, to not giving up so easily, not giving up so soon. But at that very minute, I lose all my logics when I lose the control over the numbers to pop on my face. When I try hard to look for those numbers, especially when I choose a number and I want to look hard for it, I don't find it. But those numbers always appear when I need them to be. So that's where my logic brain is like, bye. So brain has its limits and the spirit is limitless. Spirit is also a science, but it's higher level of science, which I don't think so still being discovered by the scientists. Like the spiritual and the cosmic energies, how does they work? When people die, how the energy transform from body to spirit form. These kind of things, I don't think so, are still in the reach of the science yet. So that's what my explanation on angel numbers. You may comment like down below if any one of you seeing something like that. Okay, so let's talk about meditation. Sound therapy is most popular kind of method to actually in tune or tame your subconscious, because subconscious can't be tamed. If you're like just order it, sit there, it won't. It will do just the opposite. So in order to tame subconscious, you really need to meditate, and by meditating you subconsciously teaching your subconscious that who's the boss here, because you need to remind yourself again and again that you are the boss of your system. Your system is not the boss of you, and things happen out of place, things fall when the opposite happens, when the system is the boss of you and system decides what to do, what not to do. So meditation is like that kind of thing which reminds you that you are in control of yourself. So people do different kind of meditation. Also, like I want to share one experience. I think universe gives the sound therapy also. It's more like an alarm, a cosmic alarm, that it tells you your spirit is being awakened. Last year, I literally witnessed some kind of buzzing sound in my right ear constantly. Whenever I'm in the most positive state of my mind, I'm in most peaceful, in tune, in natural cosmic flow, like I'm not worrying about the future, I'm not holding upon the past, I'm just living the present. I hear a sound. I hear a very buzzing kind of a sound in my right ear, as if a huge mobile is on the vibration mode, kept miles away from my house. I hear that kind of buzzing. I have searched on the internet and many other websites, like there are different theories, like it's the rotation of the earth. 2% of the entire planet's population is very sensitive to this kind of sound. Very weird and very least popular theory is the 2% actually hears the alien spaceship, I don't know, I don't resonate with it, and that's very scary, so I don't want to. But I noticed that buzzing sound in my head. It's like another way, another kind of language that your spirit speaks with the universe when it's awakening. It's experiencing the most in tune pathway with the universe. Whenever I'm really happy, focused on my work and not worrying, not giving a shit about what's going outside, I used to hear. I'm not hearing that sound these days. Not, in fact, this year, like from the beginning of the 2021, I'm not hearing that sound because I am not in tune with my natural cosmic flow. I'm being very anxious about past, future, present, everything. So I stopped hearing that sound. But yes, I did hear that sound whenever I was in extreme happiness and like flowing, smooth going mindset. So sound therapy, listening some kind of sounds that relax you, that drags away the anxiety from you, is what sound therapy does to you. That's why it's been suggested, like too much of loud music, too much of like metal rock kind of songs, loud songs, you should avoid that. If you are facing severe kind of anxiety, you should in fact avoid the songs that have lyrics into it. You should be more into instrumental music, nature music. Like my personal favorite is bamboo flute music per se. Nature's music, nature's sounds is really therapeutic. It's really healing in nature. So I personally suggest is choose your sound wisely, and in fact take out some time to sit in silence, because the sound of silence is also sometimes scary because you are not habitual of it. You're not. It's not very normal for the people to sit in silence. Not everyone likes to do that, but do sit in silence because it's very healing. And sometimes epiphanies happen in that very moment. Your spirit conveys some answers to your questions which you are looking here and there, everywhere, asking everyone. But at that very minute where you are sitting in silence, you're suddenly being struck with a solution in your mind, and you're just like, oh my god, I have been looking the answer of it from so long and now I have it. I don't know why, because you're allowing it. Silence takes away the resistance. So when you allow yourself to clean the passage and you allow yourself to receive from universe, then the message, then the open conversation happens. So what I do in meditation is I prefer some kind of sound that I don't have any attachment to. I tried with like some instrumental songs, some Shiva themed song, but that very minute I go to either deep sleep or either I'm enjoying the song. I'm not teaching myself subconsciously, like I'm taking over the control, because that's what meditation does. So I then switched from that kind of music to more neutral kind of a sound. What I have been doing is I am doing this metronome meditation. It has little, if I just open it, I just kind of start it. It has little tick 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 kind of a sound. It's not actually a song. So in the beginning, this sound is very annoying. Like it's more like a hammering out on my brain, like tick tick tick. But when I get in tune with this sound, I don't attach to it because it's not a music. It's very neutral, tick 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 kind of a sound, but it's very rhythmic. And I particularly set this bar, set whatever the term for it, I just scroller or whatever it is, I don't know. So I set it like this on the very top of it. So the rhythm of it matches with my breathing beat, with my heartbeat. It's not that slow, but still somehow get synced with my own entire system. So whenever I do the meditation with this tick tick sound, I breathe easily. I go into a little sleep kind of a mode, but there is a pressure in between my. So how I work with metronome is like the sound is very neutral. It can't grab your attention because it's not a music. It's simple tick tick tick. But the ticking of it is very much synchronized with my own breathing system, my own heartbeat. And I set the metronome like this, like the bar, you can actually drag the whatever it is up and down, and you can change the speed of it. It can tick too fast, and if you try to meditate with like this too fast ticking, you might feeling like out of breath. So don't do that. Make sure, for me the best setting is like it never disturbs you, it never pushes you to breathe fast, and it never grabs your attention because it's not a music, it's not a mantra, it's not a sound. It is a sound, but it's not in a very musical way. So it never grabs your attention from focusing on your system to its beats and something like that. It's just a neutral ticking. And when I work with a metronome, I feel like I'm hearing the sound of the time, like how the time passes. It's more like a clock needle sound, but on a much more amplified and louder way. And when you begin with it, you might feel very irritated because yes, again, it's like a hammer on the brain. But when you get smooth with it, it really helps you to focus on yourself. And for it, what I do is I keep this device really away from me, because if I just use this device on my face or more like this distance, the ticking is very loud. You won't be able to focus on your meditation because it's really loud. So you keep this device really away from yourself, and when you normally breathe in and breathe out and you focus on the ticking, what actually happens is, and it's a good sign if it's happening, there is a pressure inside, like between your eyebrows, where the Indian people, Indian women put the bindi on. So it's a third eye section. And when you meditate, the pressure gets really intense. It's as if someone is putting a finger on your forehead and pressing it. So that's a good sign if it's happening. And all of a sudden, like you do in rotation kind of a thing, I just like turn the knob 4 times and I do this twice. So for like 15 to 20 minutes I do this, and trust me, it's a power booster for me. Like I run on this fuel. I thought meditation is not my thing. I would never be able to tame myself, tell myself I can actually kind of manifest a healthy ritual for myself. But yes, this device I saw in a horror movie, my favorite horror movie, Insidious. So by that I was inspired. But when I came to you, I began using it, I loved it. It's much more sensible than any other musical track because it puts you sleep. See, the meditation process is not to make you sleep. If you're sleeping in the meditation, it's a good thing that you're relaxing, but you're not allowing yourself to gain back the control over your system. So don't sleep in the meditation. Try to be in sync with your system, in sync with your breathing. focus on something, and then the meditation actually like produce good fruits if you really go deep into this process. So scientifically speaking, spiritual awakening is all about subconsciously teaching yourself that you are the boss of your system and you gain back the control. But in the process, you heard about the Kundalini awakening, you heard about the chakras, the crown chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra. The process is very mysterious. For like angel numbers don't make sense to me. The buzzing in the right ear don't make sense to me, and I don't know how does it happen. You start having weird dreams. Dreams is something that stop making sense to you. I used to have dream like my house become a spaceship and it just launched into the universe, into the galaxy, and I'm just looking out of my window and I literally seeing the galaxy moving like some kind of a cosmic fluid. So this was the dream I had constantly. Spaceship in my backyard, like huge spaceship in my backyard. So I don't know. I have heard, I've seen many videos like souls that are not originally from this planet, that incarnated on this planet for some purpose or something like that. They have some extraterrestrial kind of a dream that makes me kind of feel special. But no, I'm not going into some spiritual ego kind of a thing. But yes, when you witness these kind of awakening process, dreams become more weird day by day. You start having better understanding of your dream psychology, your inner introspection. Introspection becomes your daily ritual. Like when you're going right in the spiritual awakening process, your finger is not pointing outward. You started looking more inside, like you really realize the situation is not into your control, but you are into your control, like fully. So how can you react to a situation which is not in your control? So these kind of things when happen, then just like give yourself a big pat on the back. Like you are completely going into the right kind of a life. You're about to manifest your dream life. People like witness 360-degree change in their life whenever they go through this process. This phoenix kind of a process when you burn yourself, your ego self completely, and you give birth to your higher self. Higher self is the word of the day. There is a higher self and there is a lower self, your shadow self. So spiritual awakening constantly pushes you in the direction of your higher self. And when I say higher self, I actually believe like the gods that we worship are the higher self of some human being, highest self of some human being. Like they have literally reached the top of the awakening process, and they have gained some kind of cosmic powers into it, and we all have that divine element into us, and the awakening actually triggers and tickles that divine element inside you. And in this process you actually realize you have God inside you. More precisely, you are the walking God and you are the creator of your life, and you learn how to create your life, how to shape your life by following these 3D realm rule, yet stepping into the 5D of the cosmos. So that was it for today. Hope you like it. Hope it makes sense to you. I doubt that. But whoever is going through this process, there is a big thumbs up. You're just going to witness some massive change in your life, and this would be really epic for you. You'll remember this for a long time, that something like this happened to you. So see you in the next video. Bye.